have started recording. Now we have been doing SOT Code of Safe Working Practices, and you all have been solving the questions. So all is going on all right there. Some of you are slow, some of you are at very good speed, some of you have almost finished it. But in ROR, somehow I have not seen that good, except few guys who have been doing, and they have been doing quite well actually. The ones who are doing, they are doing very well. But you all have to start taking this test without having fear how many marks you get. Don't worry about it. We are not testing you right now. We will test you only when you are ready. So you start taking the ROR test on regular basis so that you will become conversant with it, you will become better with your ROR. Now let's move on. Now this is the topic, the flags. I had asked you to wait on flags because you had a couple of difficulties, and I realized that too many of you are having difficulties. So now what we are going to do is, we will just today in this lecture we will start and finish the flags. Now flags is an ancient mode of communications. You will notice the flags were always there. All prehistoric movies, anything, there have been flags. Like now, if you are watching Ramayana Mahabharat also, you will find there are flags. So flags carry meaning. To that piece of cloth carries meaning. It has got different shapes and all, which we have seen anyway, but there are different types of flags, but they all carry meaning. Now ships also used to use flags, but our use of flags started because we are from sailing ships, and we adopted flags from naval ships because Navy formed the flag systems first, and earlier merchant ships used to be combination. Every ship used to carry own security, cannons, and so on. They were merchant ships, but they also had the security system. Then obviously security systems were naval people. Then the navies got separated, slowly and steadily, and we just kept the flag systems with us. Now merchant ships, we do use flag. We were using them earlier, not today, because today the communication is more vocal, unless it's a confidential. But we really don't use confidential ones on board anymore. Now flags, there are single flags like all the alphabets. We have got then the numerical flags. Then we have got substitutes. Substitutes came in picture because the coding needed more than one flag of the same alphabet, and at times there were issues. So they said, why don't you use substitute? So substitute gave them flexibility. Instead of carrying four sets of flags, here the substitute indicated the alphabets. That also we have been through. Now we are revising it. What are the general flags what you will expect on ships? One will be like what we touched, the standard alphabets and numbers, as well as substitutes. Then what you will have, various country flags. Then we will have maybe company flags. Big companies used to have their own flags. Now this is the standard pattern of a normal ship today. Let me get my, okay. So this is the standard design what you will expect. You will have accommodation block maybe here somewhere, maybe here, whatever it is. But this is the standard pattern. Now what is the difference in this pattern and the older sailing ships, or then the steel ships which had derricks? Now for every set of derrick you needed a mast, the earlier older systems, and we had cargo ships with something like accommodation here, here, Means don't believe that the people used to live here also. Then you had one accommodation building block here. Then you had another one here, accommodation for crew, and then they had these hatch covers, and then they had the masts here, here, like this. And we used to even have aerial systems, antennas, like horizontal antennas tied up like this, and so on. Now that time we had like main mast, mizzen mast, and all these wording. But we had many flags, like my first ship as a cadet. Our flags were not like here on the wheelhouse. They were not here. Our flags were somewhere here because this mast was the tallest mast. So it had arrangement here to hoist the flags. Because main flags must be carried on main mast. Now let us take here. This is the typical shape. This is the foremast. One mast is here. Another mast will be main mast. Two masts. That is it. Now, main mast is the one which is going to carry most of the flags. And we have got a jack staff. Jack staff is a small pole here, right forward, where we have got a jack flag. It's a small flag, company flag. It is not any other important flag, but it is a company flag. To the big companies used to like their own branded things. So it used to be here. Shipping Corporation of India had its own flag, house flag, which was flown here. Foremast, we don't hoist flags. Foremast normally you will find is anchor ball to show that ship is at anchor, but no flags normally. All flags will come here, this whole thing here, and ensign staff. Now see, here we call them staff. Staff means a flag pole. It's a simple rod with a single flag arrangement. Small block here on top and one thin line going through the block. You put the flag, hoist it up. They're small. Means normally maybe about 2 meters in height. This will also be about 2 to 3 meters maximum. Okay. This is slightly tilted. Now, these are the three positions where you will have flags. Jack staff will be at jack, ensign flag will be at ensign staff, all other flags will be on main mast triatic stay. So, we go to the next one. What happened, why this thing is not moving? Okay, let me get it right. Okay. This is the problem I am having, little bit problem of this. Okay, so this is where we went through just now, and we come to the next slide. Why I can't move the slides? Okay, let me remove this and let's see, is it working? Okay, so I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, now what happens is, if you look at the ship from front, what happens is, this is how you will see. The foremast we don't see right now here. it should be here. It should be here, something like this. And we see the main mast. Now this main mast, that is where you will see the flags. You will have flags here, probably like this, tied up down, another flag flying here, another flag maybe here, whatever, if you are in the port. But that is how you are going to see the flags. Again I am getting stuck. Why? Why? Okay. Okay. See, this is the typical one what you are likely to see. This is a typical arrangement. There are different types of masts and all. So, like a standard mast with a radar scanner, there will be one here, maybe one down somewhere. Two radar scanners. It will have its the light on top. It has got a sat nav antenna here, and the flags, which is this is the T part, where we have got now various flags flowing. You will notice the flag, one flag is showing here, that is saying that I need a pilot. Then, okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, hold it. Okay, sorry. Cadet Dozo wanted to go out. Okay. So here you have got also additional signal. Now where is this one going? So you have got a signal here, which is showing you like a daylight signal. Why I am having problem with this PPT anyway. So this is the flags. Now here you also have a flag which is whole thing. This is where now let's say how am I going to point it to you. There is that is showing you where the ensign flag is flying because ship is moving. Okay, this is how you will see the flag separated. Each one has got a flag hook on top. Each one has got a flag hook on top. A block sheave is here, like one flag, two flag, three flags here, three flag arrangement here, and this is where on gaff. Gaff is the part where you have got one more flag will come here. That is, if you are moving, you will be putting ensign flag here. So this is the way you will see normally. Okay, the mast will have additional things, lights, radar scanners, antennas, etc. There is a conflict between these two. We are all talking. Okay, next one is this. Okay, suddenly it started working. Anyway, this is how multiple flags on the same line or same halyard are used. The 1, 2, 3. This is the combination message. Now don't go with for trying to find meaning here. These flags have been from ashore with some celebration, but I this is the best example I found where I can show you like these four flags. If I take combination of four flags has got a meaning. Now that is what we use with code of signals. That is where you will have meanings. But all single letters you have to know. Combinations you have to use a reference book. Now these are the parts of the flag. Okay, flag has got typical width. This is the width of the flag. This is the height of the flag. This is where the pole is. This is the pole is here. Okay, the pole. And there is a flag hook on top. There is a flag hook on bottom. There is a rope here which is approximately 1.5 meter. Okay, 1.5 2 meters even if you take, it's not a problem. That is a tack line. There is no definite rule saying how long it must be, but it should be sufficient. So at least it should be more than the width. Width to height ratio is 3:2. That is a standard flag. But again, there is no hard and fast rule saying that it has to be 3:2. Flags are defined differently by different countries. We are talking in general only our standard code flags like all alphabets and alphabet flags and our numbers. Whereas the country flags have got their own regulations. That is how the country flags are made. Some of them are broader than this. Some of them may have different shape like this. Some of them may have shape like this. It depends on the country. Now, the part which is next to the pole is called hoist, this half part. Other part is called fly, because this is flying part and this is hoist flag. So this is the way we again go through: width, height ratio 3:2, tack line, flag hook is here, flag hook is here, and this cloth is called bunting. Now this bunting, again there is a confusion. There is bunting is also a person in Navy. It is a rank, because when they do signaling to each other using flags, see what happens is if you are using flags and signaling to ships, you can't hear. That means eavesdropping is not there. The spying gadgets, everything cannot read what is happening. So anyway, they will be still using it. Now the ensign is a person who is in charge of a team who hoist the flags, lower them, they receive the messages, they transmit the messages, means by hoisting flag. What is the message? They don't know. They just get the combination. This is the message. Okay, so he will put the combination up, other side receives it, he lowers it, other side sends a reply, he receives it and passes it on to the next in command, who will eventually pass it on to the boss of the ship. Normally it will be one of the commanders, and he knows exactly what is the meaning, or his small team. Everybody else is doing mechanically. So ensign is also rank. But when we use word ensign is also rank along with the bunting. Bunting is also rank. And here what we are talking bunting, when we refer to bunting, it is strictly the material of the flag. Earlier days it was one of the cotton materials. Today you will find all of them are synthetic because synthetic flags don't get torn off with strong winds. We have had cases where we had to lower the flag because wind was so strong. The flags were getting into tatters. Now, here, I'm going to move this little this side. Okay. This is how a typical flag will be when you just lay it on the ground. This is the flag, this blue part will have combination of things, maybe bands, crosses, color, whatever it is. That is the flag. Then you have got, actually how you make the flag, there is a sleeve here, tubular sleeve, like the way pajama, nada and all, we have got a sleeve through which we pass the that nada or the tiny rope, whatever, I don't know what you call it, lace, and tie it up. Similarly, it is through this, the continuous rope is there, continuous length of the rope from here to here. It goes through this and then it is tied up, means it is stitched here and all, so that flag doesn't move on this line. Upper hook is a fixed type of hook. Why? Because once the flag is hoisted on a pole, this one doesn't get chance to move. It is sort of strangled. Then we have got the lower hook. Lower flag hook is swivel type. I will show you the picture. It is a swivel type. That means when the flag moves on vertical axis, the swivel will take care of it and it will not create any stresses. Once in a while flag gets wrapped up and we have to remove it, means bring it down and rehoist it after clearing it. But remember, this rope will be about maybe 3.5 meters long. One end is the fixed hook, one end may be swivel or maybe fixed. Again, there are no rules anyway. It is just for convenience sake what we put. Now we come to the hooks. Now see the pairs. Okay. These are for quick connections. There is a slot here. It goes through this and like this it will engage itself. So two are entangled. You also have this type where this end is tied to the halyard, this end is the halyard, and then with these two you connect it. Here is another example of fixed one, swivel one. Fixed one is connected, swivel one is down. So these are the flag hooks. They are normally will be brass or like stainless steel, doubtful, but generally brass, generally, or gunmetal, whatever metal it is, non-corrosive type. Now, what is the purpose of tack line? Because you will say, if you are hoisting one flag, why do you need a tack line? Yes, tack line is basically meant to separate multiple flags on single halyard. Otherwise, when you are say about 500 meters away or 1 kilometer away, you are watching the flag through binoculars. If there are 2 flags, 3 flags on one halyard, 2 flags for example, you may mix up only completely because you will get confused. What is this flag? It's looking funny. That is the reason each flag gets separated with a halyard on a halyard by a tack line. So what happens is, technically speaking, you will see like one flag like here like this, then there is a gap and then you will see the second flag, so that it will be easier for you to read the flags. What is the purpose of flag hooks? For easier and faster arrangement to change flags. Now what happens is, when you are signaling, the people who have done signaling can tell you, okay, like GK sir, Pal sir probably, and like Lagu sir and all. So they had to do it during their training as cadets. So what happens is, one team gets message, okay, you hoist this. So you have to quickly change the flag so that you can transmit message faster. Other guy sees your combination, he records it, he passes on, he finds out what it is, then he replies, then you read it, then you re-hoist the flags. So there is a lot of exchange of up and down of the flags. That is where it becomes convenient with flag hooks. Otherwise, every time you will be tying up knots, and then tying up knots is more complicated. Then you have to open the knot and so on. So it is also convenient arrangement. Now this is one question you all have been asking, that is, what are different positions? When it is right on top, it is at hoist. Flag is at hoist. This is the normal flying position for every flag. Normal. Now there is a position which comes half mast. It is generally a state mourning or something like that. That is where somebody has died, or there may be very specific reason, maybe large number of people have died and we are showing respect to them by lowering flag little bit. That means half mast is not exactly measuring half and putting in half. It is about 2-3 meters below the top, which is noticed from distance. That means we have joined the mourning, and this flag indicates that we are paying respect to whatever has happened, and we fly the flag at half mast. Normally presidents, prime ministers die, that time we do it in India, and this is generally for that one day. And when rarely you may have a message, you will be doing it for 3 days and 7 days. That depends on the country to country. Now other one, now this is also depending on how many days you have to fly this. This is the normal position, you always fly here. Now what happens is, when we are passing a naval ship or another company ship or something, once upon a time there was a practice of saluting. Like salute was like this, correct? So there is a practice when you are saluting, generally the junior guy salutes first, senior guy notices it, so he salutes, then junior guy will, means there is acknowledgement of salute. So how do we salute at sea? It means you will practically not see it today, but in theory at least, but we have done it practically also. My flag was flying here. I am passing a naval ship. What I do, I bring down this flag to this position and wait. I bring it down and wait there. That ship, she had a flag up, she will bring it down like this and she will rehoist it. That means she will do it for a minute, it will bring it down and go up again. That is, they are saluting it back. Once they finish this dipping, they go back to their normal position. I also hoist my flag to the normal position. That is saluting on ship. You will not find it much today, but this is the old ancient custom. Then, if you are looking at from front, like we have seen one of the pictures, how the flag should be hoisted. Now there are specific places. No matter what happens, sorry, there is a spelling mistake here. No matter what happens, the courtesy flag will always be on the outermost halyard on starboard side. Always. This is a fixed position, cannot be changed. Okay? This cannot be changed. All other flags you can fly wherever you want. Means other than ensign flags. See, we are very sensitive on the national flags. Countries' flags are very sensitive. Rest of our standard alphabets and all can fly anywhere. You have got 1, 2, 3 here, fine. You have got 1, 2, 3 here. You put it inside, fine. But courtesy flag has to be on starboardmost side halyard. Must. No changes permitted. You can get penalized badly. Okay, and sorry about that spelling mistake. I don't know how did it come there. Now this is the side view. Side view of the mast. I am looking at it from say starboard side and looking at it. Now this is the triatic stay here, and we have got gaff. When your ship is moving, when ship is moving, this flag is flown here like this, tied up down here, and when we stop the ship, like you come in the port or you go to anchorage, the ship is stopped moving. That time this flag will come here. Means this is one job person has to do when you close the bridge. You move this flag from here to here. Again we are looking at the ship, company flag, jack flag in front, all other flags on mainmast, and ensign flag here. This is in the port. If ship is moving at sea, ensign flag will be at its specific position. Now we come to what is ensign. See what happened when the UK was a big naval power and they had colonized practically whole world. Means the sun never is to set. One of the issues was, yes, the ship is British, fine, but what is she doing? Is this naval ship? Is it a government ship? Is it a merchant ship? So these questions used to be there. So what is the purpose of that ship? So they came out with this ensign system. India also follows ensign system. Now ensign flag is basically 25% of the flag will be the country's flag. Remaining one can be plain with the color. Now this is the blue ensign. This is red ensign. Normally merchant ships use red ensign. India also we use red ensign. White one is the government ship. Blue can be navy. Now along with this, there are additional things which are added up on ensigns when they are used by naval ships and other things, because this is identification. Now this, for example, this identification is, this is the same as, if it is a merchant ship, and this is a very specific purpose of that. So you are subclassifying the ships based on ensign. So that is ensign flag. In India we don't have too many complications, but special ensigns are flown, like for example Britain. If the royal family is on board, they have to fly specialist flag. They will also use the special ensign to indicate that we have got a royal family member on board. Then admirals have got their own flags. That means it is another flag which is flown to say the admiral is on board. So navy has got lot of complex things, but in merchant navy we generally have got ensigns like red ensign is a merchant ship, blue ensign is a navy, white ensign is a government ship. Generally with these three we are all right. So okay, now you tell me anything you need to know more. We have got time. You tell me anything that you are not understood about flags. So I will also open your chat. पहले जतिन का रोना चालू. Okay, this pointer also I need to do something. No, I will try to change the color of the cursor, because there is a problem when I try to go in PowerPoint, then I could not have control in Zoom. So anything you are missing on flags, any questions, any doubts, we talk now. Of course I will not tell you like priest telling you keep the silence forever and all. That is in weddings you will find it. Anybody has got objections, say it now or keep silence for the rest of the life. You know. So you tell me, you have got any questions? Unmute all. Now you ask, now you tell me. Say. Anybody has got any questions? Put it on chat if there is a question. I'll wait for 2-3 minutes. Both, that is ROR question. Stern light and side lights. Any object towed will always show, because the purpose of stern light is to tell somebody I am here. Side lights are to give the direction. Never mind. Now anybody has got any doubts? Huh? Still no? Okay, you can always ask afterwards, no problem. So then I will close the meeting. Okay, I am going to end the meeting now.